I want to ask you, how do you feel you have most changed the culture in the governor's office since you've been there?
You know, we just have a very different philosophy. I can't tell you how many elected officials say they noticed a difference, whether it's state officials, statewide officials, assembly members, senators, or local government, who say when they call and they need help, whether it was a snowstorm in Binghamton a couple of days ago, or dealing with COVID, or dealing with the effects of anything that's going on, we are there to help them. And we don't put people through the ringer. We just say, you know what, we're all on the same team. It's not about who gets credit. It's about getting the work done. So right there, my approach to government has changed how the entire state government is expected to respond to the needs of our constituents and fellow elected officials. So that's
Three-part question. You've been in office a little over 8 months. What is the most rewarding, the most surprising, and the most difficult part of your journey so far?
It is so rewarding when I can show up in a place when people have had so many years of struggle. I think of Mount Vernon. I was there just a week ago. And when I think about the fact that we're able to help deliver $150 million to a community that has endured discrimination and a wanton disregard for their needs, when people living there for 22 years had raw sewer coming up through their homes, not once, but on a daily basis. And the businesses that were just so under siege from this onslaught because of a failed sewer system. I said, you know what, I know it's expensive, I know it's a lot of money even for a statewide project, but these people just deserve environmental justice and racial justice. So as far as rewarding, I think that day just encapsulates my whole philosophy. We go where people don't think they think they've been ignored. We pay attention, we lift them up, we let them know they have value. So that is one of the most rewarding.
Difficult?
It was difficult last week when we learned about a subway shooting. I literally had just come out of 2 media interviews in the morning, walked out and was informed about the situation involving the lieutenant governor, and within a very short time, the subway shooting. And that was tough to process in that moment. But what I knew I could take care of the lieutenant governor situation, I had to get on the scene to go there where people were hurting on the subway, the MTA in Brooklyn, in a predominantly Asian and Hispanic community where we didn't know whether it was targeted toward them, whether it was just a random act, and there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. And I'm a mother, and when I sense that someone is fearful and feeling that anxiety, I go to help heal. And that's why I took the subway that night. That's why I went to the hospital and consoled a woman, an Asian mother, who was waiting a word to see if her 16-year-old son was going to lose his hand. And she was traumatized. She knew no English. And I had the longest hug with her I've ever had in my life because she was sobbing in my arms. That is what I want to keep doing as governor, is like showing up, showing compassion, and then helping individuals.
And what surprised you the most?
How seamless it was to move into this position. And I had not been close to the previous governor, everyone knows that, but I've had a lifetime of government experience, starting with local government and county government and a member of Congress, lieutenant governor. I felt really prepared. So I walked in there and saying, I've got this, and I've got a lot to do. I've got to restore people's faith in government, let them know that we do care, we listen, and we're going to change people's attitudes. So I felt very comfortable, and I wasn't sure how I'd react when I first walked into those doors. And all of a sudden there was this sense, I can do this, and that was important.
What is your message to women out there who are considering a run for elected office?
I tell them they can do it. I've been told I couldn't do it every step of the way, whether it was running for my first office when I was 35 and had a couple of preschoolers. I knew there were challenges, but I also know, and I say this to a lot of young women and young moms who aren't sure they want to run, I said, I know you feel that mom guilt. There's nothing more powerful than time away from your kids and you feel guilty. But I said, your job is not to raise kids. Your job is to raise adults. And I feel that despite me being gone a lot, running for office, I've had 22 elections between primaries and general. My kids didn't always have me there every night, but they had a mother who showed she was gutsy enough to do this. She was a risk taker, and she believed in her community enough that she put herself out there with all the slings and arrows and fight for my community. That's what I say to other women. You have it within you. You just have to show that confidence, be out there to do whatever it takes. At the end of the day, just do what's right, and it'll all work out.